How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Trailmakers Creations by ThatDomGuy. Thanks for joining me. Today's video, we're going to be starting with the electric banana boat. It it's yellow, it looks like a banana, so we're going to call it electric banana boat. So if we just hop in here, we see that space bar gives us just a normal boat kind of feel. That does about 100 kilometers an hour. A little faster if you're going straight, 110 maybe. So decent steering. Not bad for a small boat like this. But when we hit number 1, we get a little bit of angle on them fins, and that lifts us up out of the water. We get a little bit of hydrofoil action. Barely touching the ground here. We're doing like 270, 280, and we can still steer at these speeds as well. So this is using, again, the hydrofoil, using just the stabilizing wings with some small hinges. Can't see anything in the water. Small hinges there, and we just set those at a small degree, like 10 degrees on the front and the back, and we get a nice hydrofoil action. Again, you want to set the angles right so that you're not getting too much lift or it's not dropping down face first into the water. And also at this speed, we can just hit number 1 again. Go right back into boat mode. That slows you right down. Better handling in boat mode. Yep, just pull up a little, hit number 1, and you're Gandhi. So I use a lot of those small buoyancy devices, little pontoons. And drop into the water so you don't crash into that. So let's go up onto the carrier and have a look at this. So it's actually a fairly simple build. Couple of small hinges on some angled pieces connected to your stabilizers. There are some small mini thrusters in there, and those are what engage once you come up out of the water. So those aren't engaged while you're in the water. Again, we have our propellers, water propellers underneath, and then just our fins in the back here for steering. Those are on small hinges, and the steering is on the big hinges connected to the body, so that we can have our left and right angle steering while we are at high speed without flipping us over or rolling us over. But yeah, nice simple design using the frame pieces on the inside to minimize weight, and then just aerodynamics, nice and slick. So that is the electric banana boat. Fairly simple hydrofoil type design. I'll upload it to the shop, download it, have a look-see, take it apart, backwards engineer it, make one yourself. You can make them actually go pretty fast. So let's take a look at our next build. So every now and then I like to try and build an oversized vehicle, something to scale to the wheels, not necessarily to the scale of the player. And this is what I came up with. This is the heavy hot rod, just because it's oversized and it's huge. So you can see we've got some pipes sticking out the side. We got a big engine sticking out of the hood here, using our cosmetic pieces. Kind of a uniquely front-shaped front end. Nice and tucked in the back here, and we're also using monster truck wheels for our real wheels. So we all know how easy it is to get monster truck wheels to go fast, right? So we are sitting in the center, just a single seater. So this is just with the gas engines, just WASD, and then we have space, which is our boosters in the back here. We can see the 4 thrusters that are in the trunk. But using the monster truck wheels and the truck wheels have a little more slide. You can get them going a little quicker. But the monster truck wheels, not so much. It's tough to get them to go fast. You really got to throw a lot of torque on them, a lot of horsepower. Either thrusters or even a lot of engines don't necessarily work. So that is the heavy hot rod. Always fun to try and build a stylish looking, unique kind of looking car. And again, we're using the piston glitch on the wheels to allow us to get our wheel wells the shape that we want, and then our wheels can drop in. That's on the front wheels. The back wheels have lots of room because we got huge wheel wells, so these tires aren't getting in the way. And lots of engines underneath, and then our 4 thrusters in the trunk right in here. It's basically all hollow inside, which probably doesn't help with the aerodynamics and the speed, because the flat spots, empty spots tend to drag. But yeah, we got mirrors on here, we got some little skulls, we got lights, and we got a fire pot or fire pit in the engine that when you're holding down W, it spurts out like every 1 second. Poof, 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 poof. just so you can get a little bit of flame in your face there while you're driving. Do a little beard trimming on the way into the office. So yeah, that's the heavy hot rod. It's not the fastest hot rod, but it's kind of looking cool. Unique looking. I always try and build super flat, super hot roddy looking supercar style. Figured I'd try and build like a hot rod with some big rear tires on it. And that's what I came up with. Nothing super fancy about it. It's just a hot rod. Alright, on to the next build. So our next build was a viewer request for the Halo SPRIT dropship. So this is the best I could come up with, the most I could do on it before I ran out of complexity points. It's at like 698 or something like that. So it's very similar to the, if you're familiar with the game, I didn't play a lot of Halo. It was a little after my time. But it looks like this. I Google searched the image and this is what I came up with. So it's basically a dropship for combat troops, right? In power armor. So with the spacebar we have a vertical lift and we also have our little electric sparks in the front there. E opens up our dropship doors, so we have 5 on either side that open up and close. So we can drop our troops that way. And you can see the back end's not finished. Those are all hollow. You could actually put little dudes in there. I tried putting seats in there, like 5 or 10 individual operator seats in there, but it just created way too much confusion for the software. I was trying to figure out which of the 11 seats on this thing is the seat that's supposed to be driving things. So I thought it was a lot easier to just not have those seats on there. You could have guys standing in there. You could probably have, there's probably enough room for a character to stand in there. Left shift brings us down so that we can actually land. A little bit of down action. And that's really about it. WASD for steering controls. Space is your vertical lift. It does attempt to keep itself level in the air. And if we hit forward W and space at the same time, we can actually get some forward action. It does use a helicopter engine for steering, just to try and keep it level. Keep it so it actually steers. Even the one helicopter engine that's on here is cranked at 10. Oh, here we go. And those wonderful hover pads in there for the effect. That just that creates a little bit of glitchiness too in the control and the handling. So here we are coming down slowly for a landing. But it's the SPRIT class Halo dropship. Thank you very much for those viewer requests. I do enjoy them. I can't build all of them, unfortunately, but I do take a look at the images of the vehicles that I'm unfamiliar with and then see which one is actually possible or feasible in Trailmakers. So keep them coming, guys. Alright, that's the Halo dropship. Let's take a look at our next build. Alright, our second to last build for this video. This is the Sky Wedge. This is a prototype jet that I was working on. Different design. I was trying something new. Of course, go figure, right? This guy trying something new? No way. Say it ain't so. As you can see, it looks like it's on a display stand, which it's not. It's not actually supposed to do that. I just think it's balanced just that way that when I spawn it in, that's what it does. So, what's unique about this is I was trying to make a forward wing, open wing kind of jet. Come on, rebuild and stop. So we can take off like this, holding space. It's pretty heavy, so we'll get up to about 100k. So we can fly like this. It's all fine and dandy, but you can see it's a big hollow open body on the inside. You can actually see right through. So that's what I was trying to work on, was trying to get a hollow body design that also transforms. So slick like this, like a wedge. It's called the Sky Wedge because it's wedged like this. And then you hit number 1, and it opens up like this. We get some extra jets that kick in, so we get a little more speed. And we have this nice wide body design now. And we can let go of everything. It does try and keep itself level with just that 1 or 2 jets that are going automatically. They're set to toggle with number 1 as well when it opens. So it tries to keep itself level. You do have to pilot a little bit. But I thought that was kind of unique in the opening of the wings like that. And then it just, everything closes up. And there you go, back into the wedge. So basically open mode would be for long distance transport. Got a long way to go. Might as well fly in comfort. Just fly open like this, not worried about necessarily being stealthy. If you want to be stealthy, you can narrow down like this. Get nice and narrow. I'd fly into the rock. Again, a little squirrely because you basically got two different shapes. Ooh, that was close. Through the trees. Two different shapes that you're trying to merge into one and use the same controls for both. So that's where it gets tricky. As you can see, when I open up like this, the nose just wants to shoot straight up. But you could put some missiles on here, or some bombs, I guess. Something that you could drop, or some cannons. The nose still wants to come up a bit in this mode. And then as soon as we drop, then the nose wants to go down. So as you can see, there's no happy medium. Can't keep all the jet types happy. So that is the Sky Wedge. That is landable as well. There's no landing gear on it. So that would have just been more weight, more things to deal with. Ooh, that's not too bad. Yeah, no broken pieces. Sky Wedge. I'll be uploading that as well. Alright, and for the final build of the video. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with Captain Harlock. It's an anime. He's a space pirate. Really, really cool story. If you get a chance, Google it, watch it. It's definitely worth it. Captain Harlock's ship is called the ARCADIA. It is like a ghost ship, basically the space version of the Flying Dutchman. It looks very much like this. It's got a big skull and crossbones on the front. It's got multitudes of cannons. It's powered by dark matter, and it moves exceptionally fast for this huge battleship. Now obviously this is not to scale, but this is almost to 700 complexity. You can see it's got the pirate flags in the back, the old like pirate ship kind of cabin in the back there, the modern battleship topper, these frames here, with that would be like your radar post up top there, multiple cannons. It's got the big thrusters in the back here with all kinds of stabilizing wings that pop out the sides that come down at an angle, and then this big front end that looks like a big giant gun, basically looks like a big cannon. So let's hop in this sucker. It does actually fly. You can see where that cockpit is. Isn't that cool? So we hit number 1. That angles our guns out, angles our wings down. Then space is our vertical lift, and number 2 is our thrusters. So we can engage our thrusters. Now normally this ship would be covered in a huge black cloud in the anime. It's actually really, really cool. And we can fire with left shift. All kinds of big cannons. Normally these would be lasers. In the show they're lasers. Just monstrous lasers everywhere. Almost impossible to destroy, and even if you hit them, you try running them, ramming them straight on. Indestructible. It's like he's immortal. It's like a ghost. So that is the ARCADIA. So by using forward, basically WASD for controls, and holding down space for your vertical lift, that's your gimbals. You can go down this way by just letting go of your gimbals. Hold down your gimbals and use your WASD for flight controls, and you can basically fly it where you want it to go. It's not super fast because, again, complexity got to the point where by the time I was done building the design, it was actually almost to 700. Like, I gotta make this thing move. Gotta put some thrusters in here somehow. So you can land it. So we'll come down like this. We'll hit number 2 to turn our thrusters off. Just use our space. Give us a little bit of thrust going that way. Then we can come down to land nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Let's close up them guns. Don't fire the guns when they're closed. Like that. Ooh, a little bit of damage on the backside. That actually looks very much like what the ship actually looks like. So I will be uploading that one as well. Have a look-see on the shop if you're interested. Or try and build another one. Maybe one of those mods where there's no limit to the size. You can build a giant one. Alright guys, that's all I got for you in this video. Want to thank you very much for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave a comment. I do read them all. If you enjoy what you see here, you might enjoy some of this content on the end screen, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.